What are you laughing about?
6 weeks, man.
Yes, 6 weeks.
We've been flopping pretty hard. To be fair, there's been a lot that's been going on. So
Yeah, it's been busy. It's been crazy. What's been going on your end? We'll have you fill in first. Well, actually, before we get to that point, thank you for all you have been patiently awaiting episode 28, which has taken, like Zach said, 6 weeks. Zach, tell us what's been going on.
Well, 2.5 weeks ago, I went in for shoulder surgery. Before that has been doctor appointment on doctor appointment on doctor appointment, just getting everything set up.
And you were sick while that was going on.
Yeah, just a bunch of stuff. And so it's like, I don't want to bring a sickness over to his house because it's not very fun. And then passing it on to you guys, I would have felt terrible.
Well, and then we were sick ourselves, and Paisley was supposed to get her tonsils out, and that fell through because she was sick. And they're like, no, we're not going to do surgery on her. So I had all this time off that I'd planned. I was like, oh, sweet, I'll kind of reorient and get ready and have Zach, on the same page when we got around to it, and it just fell through. And then my wife was sick a couple times. We had to go to the hospital a couple times, and it was just a crazy bunch of weeks. And then when we were finally starting to feel better and you had your surgery, or kind of waiting for you to recover, and then I worked on call, and then I worked overtime over the weekend, and then I worked all week, and then I went to drill, and I had a 4-day drill in the field.
Oh my gosh.
So it's not like I could record anything then. And then I worked over the weekend. Yeah, that was this last weekend. So it's been a few weeks. So I hope those of you who are listeners that actually pay attention have some patience with us and are willing to forgive us for some time that we've lapsed. So we've had a couple people reach out.
We're trying our best, and I mean these first couple of months of this year have just been hectic. So
yeah,
I mean we really do apologize and hope that you guys stick around to listen to us because we appreciate it. But I mean we're pushing out what we can.
Yeah,
sadly.
And I think while we're trying to kind of get back on the horse and get episodes out on a weekly basis, we might kind of scale back the production level of these episodes. Like this one, we're not even doing video. Maybe we'll bring it back. Mainly no video today because I didn't actually prepare well enough because this day has been crazy as is, and my phone's not charged. So, anyway, so maybe bring back on the production level. I mean, audio, of course, stays as high as possible. But the video switching, and because all those programs cost money. So we pay for an audio editing program, a video editing program, a video switching program, and a short program. And I think I'm still paying for the one that we used with why am I brain farting? Bry.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we ended up having to pay for the program we used with we used Riverside to do the video recording, and it made us pay for it. So it didn't make us pay for it to record, but it made us pay for it to download all the information. Mm-hmm. And you ever seen those commercials where it's like, how many subscriptions are you paying?
Yeah. It's like, you have 16 unnecessary subscriptions.
I'm like, I mean, we haven't used stuff in 6 weeks, so like a lot of that's cycled through, and I've paid for things that we haven't used. And so we're probably going to, like I said, scale that back, set those extra programs to the side, save some money on our end, and just make sure we're getting out content to you guys each week. Because I think that's more important than really focusing on that. And I want to make sure that this is as fun for you guys as it is for us. And at this moment in my life, there's a lot of things going on and more things to come. And I am having a hard time finding the time to do all the editing and do all the scheduling and making sure things come out on time. So please bear with us. But we're gonna try and do our best, and we're gonna try and get back on schedule.
Yeah.
So there's that. Zach, Tell us about your bike. What have you been working on? Have you been doing anything on it recently, getting it ready for the season at all? I know you're not gonna be able
No,
to ride it up front, but you
to
just
be
like
honest,
setting it on the back burner right now.
to be honest with you, it's just sitting in the backyard.
Yeah.
The last thing that I did was the light upgrade that we talked about on the last
I was
one.
gonna say I can't remember if we had talked about it then.
Yeah, we talked about it on that one, and besides that, it's just been sitting on the tender in the backyard because now I'm down for at least 10 weeks, and so I'm like,
Yeah, when are you supposed to be done with
they
recover, or at
they're-
least allow you to do what you want? I guess.
so clearance is supposed to be by May 5th. So
Okay,
I mean, with the weather that we're having currently,
it's not been that bad to miss
Yeah.
out a little bit.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, I mean, still sitting there thinking that it's just going to be sitting for potentially 8 good weeks of weather, and I can't even do nothing with, like, yeah, it's
Yeah.
killing me.
Well, I mean, we've had a couple nice days, and there's been tons of bikes out, and it's been killing me because I keep looking at the weather, and then it's like going to be bad. So I'm like, do I pull out the bike now, or do I wait a little bit? I'm hoping to take my bike in and get the transmission done so it doesn't leak anymore.
Yeah.
Because it's just really annoying to turn my bike on and it just starts smoking.
Right.
That transmission fluid dripping all over the pipes and then just smoking all over the places. It's frustrating.
Well, it's the same thing. I mean, I don't have the transmission issue like you, but I'm pretty sure where my clutch cable goes into the front of the transmission is cracked, and so it's spilling fluid when I pull the clutch in and out,
Oh, really?
and it's just going on to the exhaust too.
Ugh. Yeah, that stuff sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm hoping to get that fixed. I was talking to Weston about it, and well, speaking of Weston, he was messaging.
He's been harassing
Yeah.
us.
Yeah, well,
Rightfully so.
right. Yeah. Well, Weston messaged us, hit us up, and was like, "Hey, what's the deal? Like, why haven't you gotten any episodes out?" And we were like, there's this, that, and the other." And he's like,
You don't need a shoulder to record. It's
Yeah.
like, no, but I gotta be able to drive to be able to record. And with the pain pills that they give you, I mean, you can't drive.
right.
So
And then you'd have been loopy doopy.
Yeah.
But that could have been fun.
I don't know what I would have said.
And that's exactly when you're supposed to be recording, don't you know?
Yeah.
Your-
We missed
your-
out on those opportunities.
Your wife better gotten some good video from you coming out of surgery.
So the sad thing is, coming out of anesthesia, I'm actually not that bad.
Really?
She's like, oh yeah, I really want to take all these funny videos of you. And I'm like, I'm not that funny.
So you've had surgery before?
Yeah.
For what?
I had my tonsils removed.
Oh, that's true.
I
That's true.
had my hernia surgery. I did my wisdom teeth.
Okay.
And all of these times I'm boring. It's really just like, it's kind of just like you're stoned and you just sit there and you're like, but besides
Putting eye
that,
drops on you.
yeah, right. But
No,
besides that, no, like I don't do anything funny. I don't make weird comments and stuff. I'm just
Yeah, Ellie didn't get any. She's like, there was nothing really worth recording when I got my tonsils out, other than I was just like pretty much in tears, like, oh, I love you so much. I'm like, out of all the things I could say, that's probably the best option.
yeah,
know?
you're not wrong.
Like I've seen videos. I can't remember if I follow them or not on Instagram, but there's one that's all about like people coming out of anesthesia
Mhm.
or like tonsils, or not tonsils, but wisdom teeth. And the one's like this lady, and she's basically confessing that she's been cheating on her boyfriend with her best friend.
Holy crap!
And I was like, oh my gosh. Like,
wow.
like, holy cow. Like, let your deepest, darkest secrets out right there. Why don't you?
Jeez, that's nuts.
So, yeah. Anyways.
But yeah, I got cleared to drive on Tuesday, so
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I hope so. You drove me the other day.
that's true.
Yeah.
I
Zach-
drove myself here.
that is also true. Zach and I, we had a day off the other day. Well, I had a day off, and I went over to Zach's, and he helped me out helped direct me, helped coach me in some vehicle maintenance on my truck, and so we spent a good time catching up then and getting that done. And I need to be better at like maintaining my vehicles because here's the thing is my wife has been driving the truck most of the time because I've been commuting to Salt Lake in the car, and it's just better gas mileage. But she's like, the brakes keep squeaking, and I'm like, well, I don't notice. I'm not driving my truck. So, anyways, finally got it
That's
done.
your vehicle, not my problem.
Wrong answer. Yeah, so you got the lights done on your bike, and then you're just gonna hold off until you're ready, right? Until you're allowed to drive.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Oh,
I mean, the biggest expense right now that we're focusing on is our Suburban, and we're really hoping that we don't have to put really as much money into it that we think we're going to have to. So a lot of money is just being reserved
freaking
for
vehicles,
that.
man! I'm so tired of vehicles.
Yeah. So
I'm looking at our car, and it's got 250,000 miles on it, and I'm like, how much longer is this thing gonna last?
probably need a new one.
Like, I don't want to get a loan. I'm so
Yeah.
sick of loans.
No kidding.
Like the second I pay, my sister-in-law just paid off her bike, and she was like showing off her title. I'm like, I'm kind of jealous, honestly. Like, I wish I had the title to my bike.
Yeah, but you got to think about it. How much did she spend on it? Because she's
I
got,
think hers was like half.
she's got this,
$5,000, something
what
like
is
that.
it? The
She's an
Ninja?
R3.
Oh, the R3.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
but still, it's got to be at least half the price.
Yeah. But I can't lie. I'm jealous. I wish I had my freaking title.
Yeah, I get it.
One less payment.
Yeah,
I'm so sick of debt.
but
That's why I don't know if they called you up, but I had like 3 Harley dealers like, hey, come. We see on our list that you marked that in 2 years ago, you wanted to buy a bike, and it's time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
From Summit?
Yeah. One was from Summit. I think I got one from I got a text from Golden Spike, and I can't remember the other one might have been Logan. But anyways, you know how when you do test drive,
Yeah.
they're like, hey, how far out do you think you're from riding a bike? I'm like, obviously 2 years ago, I kept putting 2 years. So they're all like messaging me. I'm like, oh my
I was gonna
gosh.
say that's about when we went to Summit Harley.
Golly.
Nobody reached out to me.
Really?
Yeah.
You must
I
have
mean-
put yours out farther.
Yeah, probably.
Probably put it like 5 years ago. Oh, man.
I do know that one of my neighbors back down when I used to live with my dad is now a salesman at Summit,
Oh, really?
and he's been in contacts with me because he sees my pictures of the
Right,
bike. And
right,
he's like,
and-
hey, you should come on in and see if we can get you a new bike.
I'm like, oh, dude.
I don't have the money for
There's a reason our last episode was titled "Glad We're Too Broke" or something
Yeah.
like that.
Well, and then just with this new drop of the
Oh,
RR,
Yeah,
at
we'll get there.
$110,000.
Oh my gosh.
Like, yeah. I mean, I can understand the reasoning behind it. I mean, you're basically set up as, the king of the baggers bike, but
Right, yeah. Well, I mean, since we're talking about it, might as well roll into it. So, for those of you who haven't heard somehow,
I
if you follow,
didn't know the schedule. You didn't give this to me, so I'm spitballing.
oh, dude, we're total. What are you talking about? Schedule? We ain't got none. We were supposed to have Zach's cousin Seth over, and then last second he decided he wasn't going to be able to make it. So,
Yeah.
which is fine. We will get him eventually.
Yeah.
But so yeah, there is no with a schedule of nothing here. So, anyways,
I feel like that's usually how we roll anyways.
yeah, and you know what? It's probably gonna be more fun this way, anyways. The 2025 CVO Road Glide RR. Basically, what it is a street legal version of the motorcycle, or as close as you can get to the motorcycle that they've been using on the King of the Baggers Racing League. It is a limited production motorcycle. They're making 131 in honor of their 131 cubic inch engine that they are running on it. And let's see some of these specs. 153 horsepower,
Holy crap.
150 foot-pounds of torque, at red line at 6,500 RPM.
Holy smokes.
It's like I mean, obviously it's like a sport bike, but it's like I haven't revved that high since I had my sport bike.
I feel like the horsepower on mine is like 65.
I don't even know what mine is. I'd like to go. Tucker Speed sometimes does
Dyno days.
dyno days, yeah. So I'd like to go get mine dynoed.
I bet brand new has probably got more than it does now. Obviously, because
Right.
the motor's worn in, but holy smokes.
Yeah, 153. Let's see if there's any other things that are worth commenting on. Engine. So it's a Screaming Eagle 131, 4.310 inch bore with a 4.5 inch stroke. Anyways, the only I don't know. I was kind of surprised that they left the infotainment. Well, I guess there's really nothing you can do with these newer models. You can't like get rid of the infotainment screen because it is the Speedo and everything.
Yeah.
But they still have all the speakers stuff in it, which I was kind of surprised by. I thought they'd kick that out if they were trying to make it the race model, and because everything's like billet aluminum, carbon forged carbon fiber, and anything you can do to save on weight, and they left the speakers in. But I'm sure anyone, let's be honest, give me your 2 cents. What kind of people is going to buy this? This is a $110,000 motorcycle. Who's buying this?
Not
Zach?
me.
That's not what I asked. I know it's not us. Who's buying this? 131 of them even available. So I mean, who's going to? There's like what 600 dealers across the U.S.
Yeah.
So I mean,
not every single location's getting one.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, are we even going to see one in the state of Utah? I don't think so.
Probably not.
I'm sure it's going to go to the big dealers. You got California dealers, Nevada dealers.
Yeah.
Anybody who's got a bigger, closer to
Florida.
Yeah.
Possibly Texas.
Oh, definitely Texas. Some rancher down there is going to be like, I got 110 grand.
I feel like the people that are going to buy it are, I mean, there's going to be some people that are just like Harley collection enthusiasts, and, because
some celebrities.
They had that. I can totally see like Keanu Reeves going out and
right,
buying one.
100%.
But I mean, anybody that's has got those limited edition number bikes, I can see snagging one up.
Jay Leno. Well, does he do? I know he does cars. I think he has some bikes because I remember.
I mean, he's got money. Might as well.
I know that one of my favorite, just beautiful bikes to me, the Honda Valkyrie Rune. He has one of those, and it was like a super. I thought it was a pretty limited production bike itself. So. Maybe he'll snag one of them too. But I'm just curious. I would like to see how many people are actually going to like use it for racing. You know? I think personally, I'm sure the people that can afford this are probably more likely to be the guy that's like, well, I'm buying it because it's the greatest.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to ride it down the road to show everyone that I've got lots of money.
Yeah.
They're not actually going to take it to the track. Or do anything to it. I don't know. What if you had one of these, would you do anything to it?
Probably not.
Just leave it as is.
Yeah.
Because I don't even think there's much to do. Unlike the other CVOs where you could like add inverted front ends or because I don't think the other CVOs come with inverted front ends, do they?
I don't know. I've never actually looked into
and
that.
then like reservoir shocks and whatever,
I mean, the only thing that you could really do, which would probably be, I don't know exactly how. I mean, the 131 is set up for a specific, for the bike.
Right.
I mean, you
wouldn't want to do any engine work.
You could put a 135 in it.
Why? Yeah. I feel like this one's tuned just right.
That's why I'm grateful that they're limiting it to the 131. Because, I mean, you put a 135 in that bike, you're pushing crazy numbers.
Well, I don't even. Do they use a 131 or do they use a 135 in the actual race bike?
It's a good question.
Let me find out. While we're on that,
It might say 135 on the side of it, but you know for sure it's not going to be set up that way.
yeah, I think the only thing I could imagine anybody doing is if somebody did want to race with it or just do track days and they wanted it to be a dedicated track bike, is maybe taking the light out and taking the stereo out and all that extra weight that was left in for convenience.
Well, wasn't it Kyle that wrote it and was like, dang, this is pretty cool.
Yeah, this is
Can
pretty
I write
close.
it again?
Yeah. Yeah.
So when it's coming from the mouth of
the factory racing team,
saying that it's pretty dang close to what he's writing.
Gosh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I can't even, because I ride bikes with larger displacements now, like weight and displacement doesn't scare me as much, but this bike might give me some pause. I don't know. I'm sure it just takes some practice, but this is definitely one of those bikes where it's kind of, you got to respect the power.
Oh yeah.
Just like other sport bikes. Seems like there was some other cool motorcycle news. Oh, I know what I was thinking. I don't know if anyone else will think this is cool. I'm gonna show off a little bit of my nerding right now. I'll show Zach. So Honda. Have you seen what Honda put out?
No.
It's a I can't even get it out. It's a collaboration between Honda and Pokemon.
Huh?
Yeah. So don't judge me too harshly, people. In Pokemon, in the newer Pokemon, there is a Pokemon that is shaped like a motorcycle. Like it's a dragon and it kind of rolls, right? Like it's a motorcycle. Well, they did this collaboration with Honda where they actually made one.
What?
Yeah. So if you have a second, look it up.
Oh my heck.
So it's like this dragon, and kind of like some lizards have a front frill. That front frill is the front wheel, and then the tail rolls up and it's the back wheel. And so that is the motorcycle they made as a collaboration between Nintendo / Pokemon and Honda.
All right.
I think it's gonna. I'm like, I'd like to ride one, but I'm sure it's gonna be one of those things. And we've discussed it before, but just like when Honda did the like racing lawnmower, where it was kind of a one of one.
Yeah.
They went all out on it, and it was kind of fun. They did some videos, and it's probably going to go into the Honda museum.
That'll be this one too.
Yeah, it's not going to be a production motorcycle, but I did think it was funny and worth bringing up when it came to other news.
Yeah, I never would have seen that.
It's goofy. So if anyone knows anything about it, like look it up. It's funny to look at. I wouldn't have expected it.
Yeah. That's one of those
there's no videos of it running yet,
it
so
would
I
have
want to
been
see.
that trivia question game that you did with me. What is the wildest motorcycle ever built?
Well, that's
It's
subjective.
a Pokemon.
It's subjective. Technically, I think that lawnmower is a motorcycle, but yeah, we'll have to do another one of those. But you got to come up with the question so you can get some revenge on me.
I don't know if I can, to be honest with you.
Why is that?
You had some pretty far out there things.
Yeah, it took me a second to find those. Let's see here. Oh, no, did we talk about the new Pan America last time? Yeah. Well, then it's not really worth talking.
Everything's worth talking about.
I don't know. I thought it was interesting. A little sportier version of the sport. Because it's the Pan America ST? Is that what it was called?
Is that what it was called?
Like sport touring? Maybe if I can get it to
Moment
load.
of silence.
Have a moment of silence for my brain.
Slow computer.
Yes, the Pan America Sport Touring ST. I don't know why I bought. I couldn't remember if it came out at the same time as all the others, or if it came out later, like the RR. So
No, I'm
anyways,
pretty sure they announced it all at the same time as all the new stuff.
yeah. Let's see here. Is there any other things you got on your mind, Harley wise, bike wise?
No, not really. I still need to send those lights to you so we can put them on yours.
Yeah, I'd like to do that. They weren't too expensive, right?
No, they're like 30, 40 bucks.
Oh
Like
yeah.
that.
I'm not typically like. I think there is such thing as too much lighting. Like, I think I've shared this opinion before, but what's it called? The Indian Roadmaster. Is that what is? I think it has all the extra lighting strips on it, and it looks goofy to me. So, but I do like those lower leg fairing lights that you put on. They look good.
I feel like that was the final touch of full lighting on my bike because, I mean, the back of my bike was the brightest thing in the freaking world. And I was like, something's just missing on the front. And I mean, the sad reality of it, and we face it every single day riding a motorcycle, is that we are not very visible to a lot of people that are driving cars.
Mm-mm.
And so I can agree with you. There is a respectable amount of lights. You don't want to go past that because then it just looks weird. But
Mm-hmm.
you also don't. When we were driving, me and Michaela were driving home. My wife,
Zach's wife. Sorry, Gary's not here, so somebody's got to get it in.
we were driving home. Been a week ago, and this Road King pulled in front of us and had no backlights.
What?
Yeah.
Like they'd been pulled off, or they just weren't working.
I don't know if they were working. I don't know if he had them, but he pulled right in front of us and didn't have any lights. And I'm like, dude, it is 9:30 at night,
Right.
and nobody's gonna see you. The only reason that I knew he was coming is that I could hear him. That was the only way that I knew that he was there.
Jeez.
Other than that, I mean, yeah. So I'm like, there's a fine line of too much, but
And then there's definitely too little.
yeah. And so I was like, I think that just right there is the last perfect piece of full front lighting. The back's already done, and then of course they have the show lights on there, but
Yeah, I need to, because a lot of my signal lights and my brake lights, they're still what are they called? Halogen?
halogen bulbs.
Yeah, they're still the halogen bulbs. So I kind of want to switch those out. Got the brake light I like that one that you suggested. It looks nice. So
Yeah, me and my dad both have that one.
Zach's got good taste.
Yeah.
Speaking of your dad, is he going to be riding this season?
We are waiting on a police report, and that's it.
So you need a police report because was it a stolen model? Is that
No. So I guess there's a thing when it transfers across state lines, you have to prove that it wasn't stolen.
Oh.
And so in order to license it, you have to make sure that it's not stolen. So the officer has to come out and do a VIN check.
Oh, cool. Okay, so not too bad.
No.
Okay. Because I mean, your dad's had that bike almost 2 years now, right?
Yeah.
So we need to get him out. We need to go on rides.
Yeah.
So, while we've been talking, I've been looking through. I was curious because I used to ride a Honda Fury, as many of you know. And I've always been waiting for Honda to come out with new cruisers, but I feel like they've kind of given up on the cruiser realm because they still have the Fury. I was curious I was like, it's 2025. Maybe they got some new bikes. Like they've updated the Shadow a lot and it looks really clean. But everything else is a version of the Rebel. There's 5 different versions of the Rebel now.
I like the new updated Goldwing.
Is there a new one, or is it just the one that they've had the styling they've had for the last like 5 years?
It might be the styling for the last 5 years.
Yeah, I think it looks clean. I wouldn't mind it, except for I'm not a huge fan of the.
Boat?
Hmm?
Huh?
I'm not a huge fan of like the tour pack end of it. I think the tour pack needs some work.
I was just thinking it's still the land yacht of
the land yacht
of motorcycles. But
yeah, I have met some guys that ride them though, and they swear by them.
Yeah.
Like reliability and power. Like I mean, how much more money are these? I mean, 25, 26 grand.
Yeah. My mom's cousin just bought one.
A brand new one?
No, he has it's like a 97.
Oh.
But it's got 300 miles on it.
That's it?
Yeah.
Oh.
This guy bought it. Had it in his. I'm pretty sure my cousin listens to the podcast, so he might correct me.
He's gonna be like, nah, bro.
But he kept it in the garage. And then something happened to where he was like, they as the couple, they were like, we don't use it anymore. And so he offered him a pretty good price and he took it, and it's got a side cart.
Ooh.
And so when I was
Is it
down
like
there,
that
I
more
was trying
classic looking Goldwing? Like the Valkyrie Goldwing? Or is it how does it look? You'll have to show me a picture.
Let me look it up real quick.
Because I've seen I think they were like late 90s, early 2000 Valkyries. Because isn't the Valkyrie and the Goldwing like the same bike, just different styling?
Pretty close, yeah.
That those ones are pretty. I am not a huge fan of the early 2000s Goldwing because it's got like really round edges, and I think it kind of looks like a bubble.
Oh shoot, this is a video. It looks just like this. Just with a sidecar.
Oh, okay, yeah. See that one's the more angular one, but then the mid 2000s one came out and it was really round.
Yeah.
But this is the one I'm thinking. It's more classically styled, and I've seen several of these, and I think they're really pretty because they've got the really nice like glossy chrome and some really good paint jobs. That's one thing I wish other companies really put more effort in. Mm-hmm. Where like Harley and Indian, obviously they're kind of a more premium brand, and what they're going for is different than a lot of like. Right. If you buy a sport bike, you're not really looking for metal and nice paint jobs. You're looking for lightweight and whatever.
You don't like that one.
No. Is
that's a 2002.
Yeah, that one I don't like. But I feel like when it comes to cruisers and when it comes to cafe styled bikes, more classically styled bikes, I wish other companies put a little more effort in,
Yeah.
I think when you look at some of the Honda Shadows in the last couple of years, they look like they've done a little more effort into the paint job, into the styling. It looks really clean. But these older, this is 96 to 2005 is when they did these Honda Valkyries, and they look amazing.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Beggars can't be choosers.
Isn't that the truth?
I would love to see the statistics that these companies get to see and kind of get how they decide what bikes they're going to keep and when it's not, because I don't see a crap ton of Honda Furies on the road.
Mm-hmm.
So in my brain, that translates to not many sales. And so how is it that bike's been in production for like 12, 13 years?
Right.
It must be popular somewhere else, maybe. I don't know.
To be honest with you, the only one that I've seen is yours.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think it's kind of that how do you say it? Phenomenon where if you own it, you see it.
Mm-hmm.
So when I owned mine, I saw at least 2 others here in Brigham. So there's 3 because the one I sold to someone here in Brigham.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty dang sure he still has it. So there's 3 in Brigham. And then I think I saw a couple others, but it's not a crazy popular bike in opinion. It
Right.
doesn't seem like it. So the fact that it keeps getting renewed year after year after year with zero changes
Mm-hmm.
blows my mind. But
Yeah, it does make you wonder if in different states it's more popular.
I mean, and even with Harley, um, like I've never seen a Sportster S.
Mm-hmm.
I've maybe seen one Nightster special, and they were trying to sell those for like I think it was almost $4,000 under MSRP last season.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I went to Golden Spike. Yeah, I think they were selling them for like $9,000. They were
Holy
trying to
cow.
get them off their lot because they were like 1 year old.
Hmm.
And I was like, I'm not even a huge fan. I'm not even a huge fan of that bike, and I might pick one up for that price. If honestly, if that bike didn't have the airbox as the fake or the faux gas tank, I'd probably buy it.
Yeah.
I don't hate the styling on it. I think the biggest issue people hate with it is the like leaf blower looking exhaust.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are a lot of bikes. I like the Live Wire too. I feel like is the same way too, because the only one that I've seen like that was up in Idaho Falls.
Oh, a live wire?
Yeah.
Well, and I've seen a bunch of those for sale at the one I can't think Summit. They had a couple of
Oh,
those at
really?
Summit. But here's the thing, in Utah, and I think this is why they're not very popular here, is in Utah the only charging station is at Summit. So you're either you're gonna charge at home because I'm sure you get an adapter when you buy it.
You would hope.
And if you don't, you're gonna buy one. If you don't get one, you're gonna buy one.
Yeah.
Right. And then it's Summit. That's the only one that has like a dedicated live wire charging station.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I think the idea originally when they announced that bike, what was that, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, was that every dealer would have one.
It just shows you that it's not the future.
At least not here. I bet you in California, like, let me look it up. Let me see how many there are. Live wire charging stations.
Watch it just be Summit Harley. That would be hilarious.
I want to see if, because I think Harley used to have a map of it. Either way, I mean, electric EVs are a lot more popular in California. So I'm sure they've got them.
When you have a federal mandate about it, or
right?
A state mandate that you have to be this much by this year. That
yeah, they have their
really
initiatives or whatever,
yeah.
And I don't know. I wonder if there's like an adapter because then that would change things. I think if you could like have an adapter that worked with every generic supercharger, like at your Walmart or at your place of business. Some businesses offer that.
Yeah,
that would probably change things. But the other biggest thing about those motorcycles, when compared to cars, the cars, I mean, they can have several 100-mile ranges. You know, I think the Teslas are like in the 300 or 400. I don't know. Someone will correct me on that, but those motorcycles, I don't think they have super long ranges, like tops 100, and that wouldn't even get me to work and back.
Yeah, you could be about 15 miles short.
Yeah, I'd have to pause at Zach's house. Live wire. So if we look at the live wire one, which is the original model, city range is 146 miles. So I guess that would get me back and forth. But I'm not going to drop $23,000 on a motorcycle that I can only ride that off.
But that's the city. What about the highway?
Not seeing. It's probably less for the highway. Like when we were talking about the Honda EVs. Let's see.
I was gonna say if you lived in a 45 mile per hour zone, yeah, you'd be fine. But you're getting on the freeway, driving an hour
Specs,
south.
range. So range highway, 70
Yeah,
miles.
you're not making it home.
Dude, I barely make it to work. Golly. Yeah. So it's not really a viable option for anybody who has to do any real sort of commuting.
Or even if you go on a road trip.
Yeah, you can't road trip on this thing.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
It's a putt around the town type deal.
I'm curious. So they have 3 more models now. The Del Mar S2 for 16,250. The Mulholland for 16,500 and the Alpinista? Alpinista? I don't know, something like that for just about 16.
Huh.
Let's see what their ranges are.
They're still in production?
Yeah, they have a whole so I think it used to be like Harley Davidson Livewire, and then they split the companies. So they
so now
made
it's just
it's just a
Livewire zone.
Livewire motorcycle.
Gotcha.
So the Del Mar range.
I think we had an episode on this like 20
I think
episodes ago.
No, we talked about EVs. I don't think we went through the Livewire roster. So 113 city and then 70 highway. The reason we talked about EVs was because there was that EV company we were talking about as part of our news section that we haven't done since.
That's right. Yeah.
And what makes sense but surprised us back then was that the range is less when you hit the highway because you're pulling more amps and just killing the thing. I'm curious, like, who's riding these things.
Well, like I said, I've only seen the one, and that was up in Idaho, and it was at a dealership.
Yeah, it looks like, I wonder if they're all running on the same system. They're just body changes between the 4 models, because they all have pretty darn similar mileage. But I feel like these ones, especially the one that, I don't know, it looks like it's supposed to be a Canyon Ripper. It's something when you're going camping, you throw it on the trailer.
Right.
You know, you're not actually taking it places.
Yeah, but you're not going to be able to charge it in the middle of the woods unless you have a generator.
Yeah. So many things to think about. And especially those bikes are so expensive because you're taking the technology of these electric cars and compacting it down into a motorcycle.
Mm-hmm.
And the weight of a battery, I'm sure there's got to be some sort of balance, because too heavy of a battery and you're killing your mileage, and too little of a battery, then you don't have enough mileage. And I don't know. I just like filling up my gas, dude.
Well, and going 250 miles is great.
On a single tank.
That's like, I can see the benefits to electric, but at the same time, there's so many cons of like, you have to sit at a charging station for 2.5 hours, while I can fill my motorcycle up or my car up in 5 minutes and be back on the road.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care that I'm spending $25 to $50. Time is money.
Yeah. Well, especially
the less amount of time that you're sitting there waiting, doing nothing.
Imagine being the only guy riding it too.
Yeah.
Like if you were riding that and everyone else is riding gas or combustion engine.
Guys, hey, we have to stop every 70
we're
miles.
not leaving.
Yeah.
I swear by this. This is my sworn opinion of EVs. If it fits your lifestyle, go for it.
Yeah.
So if my job was that I commuted 20 minutes down the road every single day and went and worked and then came back home, I'd be a lot more tempted, because I could actually get to work and back on a single charge.
Right.
And then I could let it charge up, and then I'm not having to go to the gas station. And but even so, my dad has an EV, and he has a Chevy Blazer, I think is what he has. And I was talking to him about hooking up a charger at his house off his service, and I was talking to an old electrician buddy of mine, and he's like, "Does your dad get to charge his vehicle at work?" And I'm like, "Yeah, they have a charger there." And he's like, "I don't know why he'd want a charger at home, because anybody I've set one up for, or neighbors of mine that have gotten them, have just complained that it's actually just as much, if not more expensive, because you're paying for the charger, you're paying for the hookup, and then it's like literally running your oven all night long."
Yeah.
So it's
Yep.
not cheap.
Yeah.
Because I mean, even when we use our oven to make cookies or whatever, like I can tell how many times I've made cookies in the month because my energy bill's like twice as high. So I don't know. I mean, if you're charging your vehicle every single day, and you're going to have to with something that doesn't have a lot of range, it's going to be expensive.
Yeah.
So if it fits your lifestyle and it fits your budget, then go for it. But other than that, we're good.
Yeah, it don't fit me or my lifestyle, so I'll save more for other people.
More my preference. Yeah. I like hearing my bike go down the road.
Yeah.
That's one thing that wigs me out about my dad's bike, and my I say my dog, but he lives with my parents since we moved away, and he hates the sound of my dad's car rolling in, because it's got like this. I don't even know how to copy it with my mouth.
Kind of sounds like a UFO.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of eerie, honestly. And so it makes me wonder if it's it makes me wonder if it's got a really like unaudible sound for us and audible for dogs, like, because my dog just hates it. So whenever my dad's coming home, he knows, and he books it for the kennel. So
that's funny.
Anyways, I think that's about it for today.
Yeah. We just wanted to get something out for you guys.
Yes.
We felt bad.
Yeah, we need to make sure we're getting things out for you, and we're grateful for your patience, and hope that as we work together to figure things out, that you guys can enjoy what we put out, and just be excited for each episode. So we're gonna try our best to make sure they're out each week, and if you have any suggestions on episode ideas or people you want us to talk to, let us know in the comments, or send us a message on Instagram or anything like that, and we'll make sure that we get them done. So
yeah.
Alrighty, guys.
We forgot to welcome you back, but welcome back to the Beehive Biker podcast, and I guess we'll talk to you when we do.
We said episode.
No, we did not. We didn't welcome him back. We said what episode it was.
Oh,
we did not open the normal way that we do.
Welcome back, and goodbye and good night. Wherever you are in the world, whatever time it is, welcome back and good night.
Exactly.
Thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you next time.
Right on.